Hello everyone. Today is going to be a bit of a different video than I'm used to. We are going to be playing a game of Minecraft. It's going to be more of a relaxing episode today. Whether that's to fall asleep or just to kind of chill, we're just here for the ride. I don't know how long this series will be or how long this episode will be, but you guys are just gonna be kind of here to listen to me yap, and yeah, we'll just here for the ride. We're gonna make a brand new world. We're gonna call it Sleepy Craft, because why not? Yes, it's gonna be difficulty normal, survival. We're gonna go into world. No bonus chests. Generate structures, yes. More. Game rules. This is where I'm going to change some things. Well, hold on. This is all new to me, so it's gonna take some time to figure it out. We are going to keep inventory after death. That is all we need. I'm only doing that because this is supposed to be chill, stress-free. We're just here for the ride. Wherever the world takes us is where we're gonna go. Now I grabbed a coffee because it is 2:48 p.m. where I am right now. But wherever you are, I hope you're having a good day or a good night, or we're just kind of along for the world. I haven't played Minecraft in a long time, alright? Now, I played probably my last time when Valorant first dropped. And so I made my skin Jet from Valorant, if you know who she is. I don't know if any of you guys have played Valorant or not. But yeah, today's gonna be a chill day. I'm probably gonna start with... Usually I'm kind of a sweat in these games. I try to get as good. Try to get as good as I can, as fast as possible. But today we're just gonna be chilling. I don't really have a plan for what we're gonna do here. All I know is it's gonna be nice and calm. No expectations. We're just here for the ride. I'm going to farm probably as much wood as I can right now in the first day before it turns night, and then I'll probably head out into like get some cobblestone or something and start progressing through there. We also need to find where I want to put the base, because we did spawn in what looks like a jungle here, so that's good to know. That is really good to know. I'm just gonna kill these chickens because we can always get more later. Ooh, a lot of cows. You know what? Is this where we make our base? It might be. I don't actually, I'm gonna kill these cows for now because I don't have wheats to tame them. And then we're gonna keep kinda just preparing, because I do kinda want to find a village. But we're also getting really good food now, which is really good. It's always good to have some extra food, you never know. Not that this game is really hard when it comes to survival like that, but especially these early games, it's just easy to get the food, and it's pretty chill. So, I don't really know what I have planned for this series. I'm just kinda here to yap and play some random games, you know? Whether we revisit this Minecraft world or play other types of games, like, I'm kinda up for whatever. And I love playing as a community, you know what I mean? So it's kinda one of those things where I used to try to live stream a lot, but I just stopped doing that, and on my main channel I've actually been doing a lot of skits, so this is a little different different pace than I'm used to. I'm usually a very loud person, and I guess this series I'm trying not to be, you know, I'm trying to be more kind of monotone, because at the end of the day, right, like, with skits, you're always used to putting up a character, you know what I mean? So when you aren't required to, right? You kind of, I don't know, I want to be able to just do what I want to do without having to play some sort of character. Ooh, this is gonna be good for cobblestone, actually. Or, coal, sorry. Um, we're probably gonna get a starting base and hopefully some diamonds by the end of this video. And hopefully you leave this video calmer or asleep. Hopefully you leave this video feeling better than you joined. That's really the end goal for this series. This is a new channel of mine. I actually, I used to play games on my other channel, but I've just recently privated all those. And I kind of wanted to separate it because I've been really liking the skits I've been doing. Because, like, I don't know, directing is kind of one of my passions, right? So I really want to, I kind of want to see how that goes. But with this, it's kind of, I don't know, it's nice and chill. You know what I mean? Like, it's skits you kind of have to plan. There's sometimes a budget depending on what you're doing. And if there's other people involved, you gotta, like, make sure they're available, you know what I mean? With this, it's just me, a microphone, my computer, and a camera, you know what I mean? And you guys, so it's kind of nice. Sorry guys, apparently my mic was muted for a bit. I don't know how long it's been muted for, but I had to go up and help move a dryer, so I had to leave for a little bit, but if you guys didn't miss much, I literally just came out of the cave over there, and I kind of wanted to work on a base around here. I thought that would look nice. It's really close to spawn, it's just because it has terracotta, desert, jungles over there, savanna I think that's called, and then like an oak birch forest here, so that'll be good. Let's just grab some of this. So yeah, we're kind of along for the ride. Now we're ready. We're going to bring a little bit of extra food with us. Then yeah, we're just gonna go get some wood. I am going to actually take a picture of these coordinates first, just so we don't lose them. There we go. Perfect. So now I'm just gonna run across here and start getting some wood. Now, if there's any other types of games you guys want me to play, just let me know in the comments. And this isn't the only type of content I'll be making, but I don't know, I kind of felt like I wanted to do something different. So we're just gonna be chilling. No. Whether you're at school, coming home from school, work, coming home from work, you want to sleep, you just want to chill, it's your day off maybe, I don't know. Maybe you're having a bad day, maybe you're having a good day. I hope that you can leave this video feeling better than you came into it. That's just kind of my goal. That's my goal with everything I do, I think. Everything I do, I don't know, with my skits I make on my main channel, I try to be as funny as possible with them. But yeah, so we're just kind of doing what I want, you know, like there's so much, like, almost requirements in society that it does get very tiring, you know what I mean? So just kind of having that moment to yourself is something that's really, really important. And whether that's hanging out with friends, listening to music, just kind of chilling, doing whatever. Everyone has their own kind of whatever they do for themselves, right? But it is important to find that thing that you can do for yourself. It is very important. Now, I'm not a really good builder, so you guys might have to bear with me for a little bit, but we'll see, we'll see. I have no idea how long we're making this video, by the way. I'm just kind of chilling. I might make a little bit of a farm here soon, though, because I do want to get some of these cows. Yeah, I think that's gonna be my goal here. Get some of those cows. There we go. Now we're just gonna craft a hoe real quick. Because there's a lot of cows around here, I can't lie. I think this is a good spot for a little bit of a garden. I'm just gonna literally just plant a little bit. And I think we start our little house. I'm thinking of making a cabin to start off. I don't know if you guys think that's a good idea or not. That's another thing I kind of got to get used to. I'm looking here to see myself. I got to remember to kind of look more in the camera because it is I'm not really used to that. You know, like I do a lot of skits. I don't like I was live streaming for a little bit, but I don't know why I kind of stopped that. I don't know. I almost lost a little bit of motivation, and I think I got to a point where I wasn't really doing it for myself anymore. I was doing it because I was kind of feeding off other people to do it, and that's the thing that I think a lot of people deal with in life is they don't do a lot of things for themselves. They do it for other people. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of one of those things where if you once you kind of realize that is when you can actually start to let go of it. You know what I mean? So it's like so yeah, it's just kind of one of those things that you can't really control in your life. Besides, well, like, sorry, it's you. You can't let other people control it in your life. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where you do what you want to do and don't really let others tell you. Because I've always wanted to do this content creation stuff, but I was scared of what other people would think of me, right? And then one day I just kind of woke up and realized, what's the point of that, right? Like, why care about what other people think of you? And at the end of the day, it's it's such a small, unimportant thing that doesn't even really matter in the sense of things. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of one of those things. I don't know. I'm just kind of I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know if this is even really entertaining for you guys, but I just thought, you know, if it helps me, it might help other people. So that's the goal. I think I made this way too small. I don't know why. I was worried about making it too big, so I ended up making it too small. That's my fault. I'm gonna need to grab more wood. That didn't really last very long. I'm hoping this forest is a little bit bigger. I'm not sure. But I don't know, I wanted to make this kind of a cabin-ish, you know what I mean? So, I also want to kind of figure out how to make a campfire, because I think that would make it look pretty good. Yeah, I'm probably gonna make this video maybe roughly around. I think 40 minutes is a sweet spot. Good enough for you to kind of relax, or whether or not whatever you're doing, you know what I mean. Just one of those things where I don't know, and I tend to yap a lot, whatever I'm doing, right? Whether I'm with people or with myself, I talk a lot. So I think doing this is also gonna help me just kind of almost get what I want to say out. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's one of, I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to kind of I don't know. Make sense. I don't know. It's weird. I do yap a lot about my. By the way, I'm not really doing any cuts in this. This is just gonna be straight raw, how it is. I think it defeats the purpose of this type of video if you're jump cutting every time you're not talking or something. So if I make a mistake, that mistake's gonna stay in the video. But yeah, so kind of forgot what I was talking about before then when I kind of accidentally stuttered there. But I do stutter a lot when I'm trying to record things. I don't know if it's because I'm like nervous secretly or not. I have no idea. But like when I'm filming skits, I have to redo lines all the time. And it's just like one of those things where it's like I've been doing it for a decent amount of time now where I thought that that would kind of pass, but it hasn't. And same with the feeling. Like I don't know, whenever you're doing something that you're really proud about and it gets finished, you get that kind of dopamine rush, right? Now, with streaming, that went away pretty quickly, but I find with the skits I was making, yeah, I still get that feeling. So it's something that I love to do, right? And so I kind of want to keep doing it. Okay, I'm thinking this is probably gonna be the door. Um, just put that right there for now. As I do want to kind of find somewhere peaceful to build this, right? And so I think this is kind of a good dead center and a bunch of different biomes. Kind of build a bridge over that river at some point, maybe. I don't know. I'm just kind of doing whatever. It's not really that big of a deal. We're just kind of chilling, right? So whatever's like, we're just here to have fun, right? And now, my skits, I can't post as frequently because they take a lot more effort, I think, in like planning with the skits. So I only upload like 2 of those a week, but I think. Sorry, I don't know if you guys could hear that. A car just sped down my street. I think that it would be cool if I can just kind of chill on this channel and make as many videos as I can here, because I do really enjoy it and I love playing video games. I've always loved playing video games. I when I was younger, I was like kind of semi-pro in Fortnite, and then I got really good at Call of Duty. After kind of Cold War, I ended up actually I was playing with all the CDL pros. I just wasn't old enough like to actually compete, so that was kind of cool. And then I just kind of lost the passion for it before I actually became old enough, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of one of those things where I was really good at it, but if I wasn't happy doing it, then what's the point, you know what I mean? And Call of Duty was going downhill pretty quickly. So it was just one of those things where I was like, if this is what I want to do for a living, it's gonna take a lot, right? Like, kind of have to figure it out. With esports, you can't really have like a life outside of the game when it comes to esports, right? So just kind of one of those things. But yeah, so just kind of here. Sorry guys. So I ended up accidentally, well, sorry, I ended up muting again because someone came in my room, and that was completely my fault. And I'm actually muted for the rest of this video, so I'm just going to be kind of talking over what's going on. It's kind of a bad way to make this first video, but yeah. So basically, here I'm not actually really sure what I was trying to do. It looks like I'm getting ready to go, like, I was originally thinking of putting down a floor here, and then I was like, wait a second, actually. I'm gonna go get some cobblestone here. And, yeah, so I go to get some cobblestone. We end up kind of just chilling and finding a, abandoned mine, I believe it's called, for, you end up finding one of those that led us to a decent amount of diamonds, so that's kind of what happened game-wise, but I'm just gonna kind of yap over what's going on here for the rest of the time. Unfortunately, this is how it happened, but I promise you guys the rest of this series will not be like that. So, one thing I've kind of noticed with, I don't know, I guess YouTube now, because I've wanted to do content creation for such a long time, is there's so much just kind of like garbage out there, you know what I mean? Like, so many people doing stuff that isn't, or like posting stuff that isn't even theirs. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen like the streamer clipping and all that, and it's just like, I remember back when people wanted to be a YouTuber and stuff, they would do stuff like, yeah, like play Minecraft. And when Fortnite came out, that was a really big thing, right? Like, everyone wanted to do stuff like this at one point in their life, I think. But yeah, I think now it's all become just like, there's like those AI videos of like AI voiceovers. There's people that are just clipping other people that are, you know, doing content, and I think that helps the people that are being clipped, in a sense that it's almost free promotion, but it's taken the creativity out of this, right? And that's kind of what made these type of platforms special, right? Is the creativity from people, right? Like, this was such a new thing like 20 years ago, and it was so cool, right? Like, I remember, I'm only 19, but like, I grew up when I was young watching Smosh, and then I switched and watched like Trevor Wallace and stuff for skits, right? Like, I've always loved that type of stuff. So it's just kind of, it's one of those things where I kind of miss that creativity in content creation, and also people being themselves and being, doing what they want to do. Now it's just like everyone's just trying to make that next viral clip, right? Which I guess has always kind of been a thing, but now it's almost like everyone's a copy and paste of each other, right? And I don't know, it's kind of unfortunate to see, because I'm sure there's so many people out there that are very good at this, and if they were just to be themselves, it would take them really far. But I don't know, I guess they either don't believe in themselves or think that that's not good enough, whether they don't think they're funny enough, don't think they're good enough at what they're doing. And it's kind of sad to see, right? But that's kind of where I am at with content creation. I kind of, and I was like that too. I was this loud guy trying to make that next viral clip, and then I kind of realized, if I really want to do this for a living or whatever, you just kind of got to be yourself, right? Because if you're doing something that isn't actually you to create a viral clip, that is a lot harder to maintain, like, an audience, because that's not you, right? Like, that's not who you want to be, that's not who you are. So it's kind of one of those things where people, whether they know or not, can kind of tell, and it doesn't seem as genuine, right? So it's kind of one of those things where I feel like it could be, I don't know, I don't really know where I was going with that, but I wanted to share how I kind of felt with all that. But yeah. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, seen in about 2 days the GTA 6 pre-orders drop at the time of this video being recorded and uploaded. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel I'm excited about that. The Steam machine also releases that day, I'm pretty sure, which the prices are pretty unfortunate, but it's kind of expected now with the way things are going with AI, and RAM prices are still through the roof. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate to see with those. But yeah, I don't really know what to talk about right now. I guess talk about like the way, I don't know, like the way things are going. Like even as a society, like people around my age, it's kind of unfortunate. Like I live in Canada, but I'm sure it's like this in many other countries. But with the way everything's priced right now, it is like really hard for our generation to, I don't know, I don't want to say like figure it out, but I almost feel like it's kind of, I don't know, it's everything's so expensive. Like buying a home is almost not even thought about anymore, and that is really sad to see now, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, I'm kind of like, I almost feel stuck, and I'm sure if I feel stuck, there's probably millions of other people out there that are around my age, whether they are my age, whether they're older, whether they're younger. I feel like everyone at some point just kind of gets to that point, and that they feel stuck. And it's kind of, it can be hard to break that. You know, it can be hard to break that feeling of whatever it is that you're going through or feeling, right? It's just kind of, it's one of those things where people will try to talk to you about it, but it doesn't really work. You know what I mean? Like it's so much easier said than done, right? Like one of my biggest things is people that when you try to talk to them or something, they'll apologize, right? And I almost feel like that. Not that it doesn't mean anything, but that's not necessary, right? Like they didn't cause it. They didn't. Like there's nothing that they can do about it, right? And it's almost like you get kind of tossed between a point of wanting to speak out about it and not wanting to speak out about it because you kind of know what they're gonna say. And well, if you know what they're gonna say, then it's kind of almost, I don't want to say pointless because it is still very important, but like I don't know, it's a weird feeling, right? But I was stuck like that for a very long time, and I actually kind of found peace, if that makes sense. I found peace through philosophy and just kind of really doing what I want to do, not doing things for what I think others would want to see from me, right? And I think that's a really big deal. I always struggled in school, and so like I would skip a lot. My grades were horrible, and then I kind of, when I got out of school, I was kind of at a fork of, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life, right? Like I'm not going down the right path. I don't want a job that I'm not gonna enjoy. When at the end of the day, that's kind of a stupid thing because you, like at some point you just kind of need to grow up, right? And I didn't want to. I've been working for years since I was like 12. I've had a job, right? So it's one of those things where I've kind of just like, I'm very money motivated. So like school was hard, but like I can kind of just force myself to work. But I kind of realized, I'm like, am I gonna do this for the rest of my life and hate every minute of it? Because if so, that's not what I want to do. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that you almost need to figure out yourself, right? No one can tell you. No one can tell you what you want to do. It's something that you gotta get out there and try different things and figure it out, right? So I don't know. It's one of those things that it's a long process, but boy, is it worth it when you figure it out. And it might be hard, right? Like I went about 9 months without being able to do anything without throwing up. I was throwing up every day for 9 months from anxiety and not being able to leave the house. And that was about in 2023. We're in 2026 now, and I feel like I've come pretty far. It was a horrible year at that point in time. But I think the way I think about it, when I have a really rough spot of time, I think, well, if you make it out of that, it's so much easier to make it out of everything else, right? Like the start of this year was pretty rough, you know, like my parents got divorced, my dad had some really bad like health problems, it's been pretty rough. And I just kind of, if I didn't have those experiences I had back in 2023 and so on, I would have handled it a lot worse, right? But I feel like I kind of handled it better than I would have. And, you know, it might suck at the time, but it's necessary. You know what I mean? I think it's very necessary. It's one of those things that kind of everyone has to go through at some point in their life, whether it happens younger in your life or later on, like earlier or later on. It kind of has to happen, right? And I think you can kind of, well, I don't want to say you can look at someone and be able to tell it hasn't happened, but everyone's going through their own thing, right? But there's some people that they're some little thing, like someone burning their lunch, for an example, that'll mess up their whole week, right? And you just kind of look at it and think, like, that was just one lunch and it was an accident, right? Like, you could remake it, it's just one meal, right? There's 3 in a day. There's so big, right? And it's like, one analogy I found actually was there's like 80 something thousand seconds in a day, right? But if you had let's say it's 86,000. If you had $86,000 and someone stole 60, are you gonna throw out the other 80 something thousand dollars that he didn't steal? No, right? Because why would you? So why would you, if someone ruined a minute of your day, throw the rest of your day away because of it, right? It's just one of those things that kind of, it's really easy to look past and it's really easy to get kind of discouraged and let it kind of consume you. But when you kind of look back at it, you might realize that it's a small thing, right? It's nothing, like, it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. But at that point in time, it might sound like a big deal, right? So you just kind of, if you can get to the point of you look outside, like outside the box almost in the moment, I feel like you could become a lot of a happier person, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of one of those things, and wow, I missed 2 diamonds there. That is kind of insane. I don't know how I didn't see those. I knew, and look at me here looking for them, because I knew they were over here. That is insane. Well, I'll make sure to go back for those next time. But, yeah. Sorry, I kind of lost track there. That kind of caught me off guard that I missed those. But, yeah, so back to what I was saying, right? Like, I think you could become a lot of a happier person just looking at things with a different perspective. And not letting everything kind of get to you, right? Like, obviously there's a time for things to get to you, but I like the idea of, like, when someone judges you, that if someone judges you, that's their problem, right? But the second you let it affect you, now it's your problem, right? So it's like, if you don't let it affect you, it's their problem. They're the ones wasting their time judging you. But the second you let it affect you, now they're right. It's your problem. So if you don't let it affect you, you don't have to deal with it in a sense, right? Like, I was so nervous coming out with videos and what people would think of me. Sorry, I had someone come in. I had to cut there. But yeah, what I was saying was I was so scared of what people would think of me when I would post these. And I kind of thought, I'm like, well, I want to do this so bad, and I'm afraid of starting because of what other people think of me because I'm starting it, right? And I kind of realized, I'm like, well, let that be their problem, and let me be happy doing what I personally want to do. And you know what? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does work, it's life-changing, right? And if it doesn't work, at least I tried, you know? Because the regret of not trying is a lot worse than trying and it not working. You know what I mean? And I think you can kind of carry that into life in so many different ways, that whether you're scared to do something or whatever it might be, just do it. All right? Like, it's so rare that we even have life right now that it's just do it, right? And I know it's easier said than done, but I was homeschooled for majority of like my early teenage years and before high school. Like, from grade 5 to grade 9, I was homeschooled, and that was good at the start, but then the social aspect was really bad, and then I kind of went into COVID and then didn't talk to anyone again. But then when I got out, it was really hard. But once you kind of force yourself to do something you're not comfortable with, it makes that thing much easier. You know what I mean? So like, I went from not being able to talk to people at all to being able to yap here for 40 minutes, right? So it's just, it takes time, but whatever, anything that's worth it takes time, right? That's kind of what I've realized. Anything that's worth anything takes an amount of time that's... Alright, forgot it. Any sort of thing that's important takes time, right? So it's just kind of one of those things. And now that the video's starting to wrap up, I just want to say thank you if you're still here, still listening to me kind of ramble on about nothing. But yeah, and don't forget, if you guys are interested in skits, my other channel, which is linked in the channel you're watching this on right now, you can see some. Maybe it's not for you because this video is a lot different than what I usually do. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you guys are leaving this better than you came. And yeah, thank you guys.